Get set. We're riding on the
Clueless
Internet, cyberspace, set free. Hello, virtual reality.
Interactive appetite, searching for a website, a window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the
Clueless
Internet.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 14th episode of the Clueless Internet podcast. I'm your host, Alex. I'm joined once again by my co-host, Howard.
Hello.
For another episode of these wacky times that we live in. I have gathered another 5 facts, or actually, no, I think it's 4 this week. I think I've narrowed it down to 4. I've got you 4 facts, some fake and real news stories, and some complete fuck-ups. And without further ado...
You said ado.
Let's move on to our first section. Today I learned.
Sit down and shut up.
Today, I learned.
Shut up.
Shut up, I learned.
Sit down. Be quiet. Shut up.
All right, everyone. Welcome to our first section of the podcast. Today I learned. I've gathered 4 facts from across Reddit, and I'm going to read them to you, and actually to myself, because I can't actually remember what most of these are.
Who am I?
Where am I? Who am I speaking for? My first one is, today I learned about baby jumping. Interesting title.
I don't know what to make of it.
I mean, it's kind of literal, to be honest.
So is it babies jumping, or is it people jumping with babies in tow?
Close, but no cigar.
So
this story starts off in Castrillo de Murcia, or de Murcia. In Spain. Oh, I think it's de Murcia.
The Murcia, yeah.
Castrillo de Murcia, in Spain, where once a year, sort of mid-June, devils run wild. Capitalists. This is the El Colacho festival. Essentially, what happens is people, like devils, people just run around with red and yellow masks. And
it's a bit like Halloween in July.
Yeah, kind of. It's like a hot... Well, Spain would be hot probably in October, so it's a more hot version of Halloween, where all the candies are melted, unfortunately. That's probably got to be a struggle, actually, when I think about it. Imagine going around all these houses, you get back and everything just melted together because you live in a hot place.
That's America.
Well, we kind of have this well, you'll probably find that there's a few bullet holes through.
Oh, there's razor blades and bullet holes in this bag.
Who left these perfectly good razor blades in? Better load my gun. Yeah, what the fuck? I'd be well pissed if all my candies were just stuck to I wouldn't bother going next year if all my candies
Halloween's ruined.
Melted to my bucket. So it's called the El Colacho Festival because these devils are called Colacho, or Colacho, or however you want to say it.
Echolocation.
So all these echolocations are running around the village. They insult other members of the village while whipping them with horse tails attached to a stick.
See, why do we have shit things like Halloween when we could be doing this?
I mean, we have shit things like taxes, the NHS, shit Halloween.
Boris Johnson
in control of the NHS.
We did get a fucking dud Prime Minister.
Oh, God.
Can we get a better one?
I'm going to take my mind off it. Let's go back to...
Can we have David Cameron back, please?
Let's go back to the other devils. He's on holiday.
He was the lesser of 4 evils.
He's on holiday. So essentially, these people are running around with whipping and insulting everyone. It does sound quite like Parliament. Then drums begin to play, and it announces the arrival of the black-clad Ataboleros.
Atabolero.
So these people are quite... I think it's pious, which is
pious people, yeah.
Quite very religious.
Yeah.
So these men come out of nowhere and they have to stop the devils.
This is getting a bit rapey.
So they have to hold them down.
Oh, God.
Move the mask aside and get to business. So,
Peter Parker.
Bring me pictures of Spider-Man. All I see is a penis. Well, you told me. So essentially, this is where the flight of the devils begins. Do you want to have a? Would you like to hazard a guess at what this includes?
So you've got people chasing them, and then so it's basically I'm going to assume like a run through the streets, like where everyone like.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. With a twist, shall I say? So the way that they do this.
How do they do the do?
The flight of the devils. They begin this by gathering all the babies born last year. They lay them down on mattresses in the street, and the devils jump over them.
Oh,
It's it's sort of like a baptism
it's like a trust fall.
in a way.
Trust me, I won't land on your child.
You throw them off a cliff. If they land and they're perfectly fine, they're a witch. Burn them. But if they die,
If I land on them, they're also a witch.
because I'm not that heavy, the cheeky fucks.
What are you trying to say? That's a dead baby, sir.
Yeah, but what's he
What's he trying to say? I'm fat.
I hear some gargles. Oh,
Well, it's got dark.
why am I here at night? So yeah, it's sort of like a baptism, a trust fall in sorts. It's believed to be that the devils jumping over them sort of absorb the sins of the babies and protects them from illness and misfortune.
Sure it does.
But if you're not a baby born in the last year, don't you worry. Colacho has you covered.
We'll throw you under the wheels of a moving truck.
Merry Christmas. So people would also line the streets and berate Colacho to ward off their own bad luck. So if you want to go and get some good luck, you don't need a baby.
Quick, blame everything on these people.
You can just go. I don't know how they select the people to be Colacho. It might just be a lucky or unlucky hat. Actually, it's kind of give and take a little bit. You run around the street just insulting everyone you can and whipping them, and then all you do is just get shouted at a little bit.
Yeah.
So it kind of seems like a...
I wouldn't mind running around just screaming abuse at people, and the most you get is just, "Oh, you devils!"
People just bleeding across the street.
"Oh, you cheeky bastard!
What are you
Oh,
doing?
my arms!"
Someone just sneaks a gun in there somewhere. So after this is over, the babies are returned to their parents.
Traumatized.
Yeah, completely horrified. Well, actually, no, sorry. They are sprinkled with rose petals and then returned to their parents.
Traumatized.
Screaming, crying. It's horrible.
The rose petals did nothing.
They only used to allow local babies to join in, so if you're not from the area, now's your chance.
Then
if you want to
fuck
travel.
you.
Well, fuck you previously. But recently people have been travelling from all over the world to take part in
To
this.
join in.
Yeah, like to take their babies. So this guy's got to have a really fucking long jump. Imagine if you've got a line of 40 babies in a row. You've got to...
That's a lot of money to spend to put your baby in the middle of the road on a mattress just to have a stranger leap over them.
You could do that anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, just put them...
You've got mattresses at home.
I'm sure the baby plus the mattress isn't the height of the bottom of a car. So if you wanted to do that, a more modernised version, take a cut-up mattress, put it into the middle of... Like, just put it
in the middle of a reservoir.
Put it in the middle of a lake, and then if a boat jumps over it, you've got good luck. But if it gets sunketed, then sunketed,
Burn the witch.
you'll need another one.
What baby?
Yeah. They don't just grow on trees, I heard.
What?
Anymore. And essentially, to this day, there have been zero reported injuries so far. So you're in the clear.
All the
So if
actual...
you're- so as
we
a-
just didn't report them.
Well, yeah. So if you want to be the first to be reported and join the Guinness World Record book, email in and we'll congratulate you live on the podcast for whatever that's worth.
Live?
You can email it
Are we
in.
going to have to do a live podcast?
I mean, we can do a live. If someone wants to go through this much effort to be the first one to be injured, I will interview you.
Yeah, the rules are you're not allowed to injure the baby. You have to somehow injure yourself jumping over a baby.
On the baby.
No, just jumping over you somehow between the point of like you in the air and landing on the ground, you need to injure yourself.
And you don't.
Then we'll do a live podcast.
And you don't hit the baby.
Yeah, no, it's just you. Yeah, you have to injure yourself doing something completely innocuous.
So the baby's not in this equation.
Nah, fuck that. We don't want to get in trouble.
Okay, well, don't email in. We won't interview you.
This is a stupid idea.
Babies need to be hurt for this interview
Wait.
to go ahead.
No.
So
Why are you so determined?
We will also need a police report to go with this to corroborate your claim. So yeah, write in podcast at cluelessinter.net. Thank you. The festival dates back to the 1620s. It takes place on the Sunday after the feast of Corpus Christi.
I have no idea what that is.
Neither do I.
We should look it up.
I assume it's just a feast that comes before this, like a wake, but before and not death.
No one died.
So nothing like a wake. So this is a mix of Catholic and pagan rituals. It's meant to represent the triumph of good over evil, essentially.
Well, no.
But I mean,
everyone gave into evil this year, apparently.
Oh fuck! I've been stabbed.
There's a lot of dead babies.
Curb stomps are only meant for video games
And movies.
Oh god. But some people believe it was a fertility ritual originally.
But you've already had the baby. Let's have another baby. Well,
put him
better
in the
jump
road.
over the last one.
I've made a blockade with my children. Try this one. You've just got like a 30-foot high wall of babies. You're tasked to jump over
I
them.
call it the Tower of Babylon.
They're all mine.
I'm so very
At
fertile.
least that's what the police think.
Oh.
Well, with that one, let's talking about what the police think. Awful segue because it has nothing to do with that. Let's move on to
So not a segue.
No. So let's move on to our next fact. Today I learned about the solo invasion.
Oh.
You want to have a guess?
Actually, no, I don't think I do know what this is. I
It does
thought I
sound
did,
kind
but...
of illegal. Well, it is.
Solo
It is
invasion.
illegal.
So this is an invasion of one person. One person invaded a whole country. That'd be amazing.
We'll see. So Sark is part of the Channel Islands off the coast of Normandy. So it's one of the only places in the world where cars are banned from the road. Only tractors.
You may only just run around on the grass.
Yeah,
just
all the people there are extremely athletic. So only tractors and horse-drawn vehicles can be used on these roads.
Okay.
Sark was also designated as a dark sky community.
Oh, I think I know of this island.
And the first dark sky island in the world.
Don't astronomers go there essentially?
Yep. So a dark sky preserve is a place that restricts artificial light pollution. So you're just not allowed to
No lights
build
at
any
night.
buildings or stadiums or anything. So there's different kinds of dark places in the world. They're labeled differently based on what they are, and you can guess.
I suppose they probably have a light rating.
You can guess
of
what
how
they
much
are
light
as well.
pollution
So
they
you've
have.
got international dark sky communities, you've got international dark sky parks, international dark sky reserves, international dark sky sanctuaries, and dark sky developments of distinction.
Well, some of the dark sites like reserves, I assume, will be because one of the things that disorients like birds and stuff is actually like cities and light pollution and stuff is actually disorientating.
We have that with turtles
species
as well,
of
don't we?
animals.
If you have
Yeah.
something that's near the beach, they'll start to waddle towards that instead of the
They'll
sea.
waddle towards the light instead of the sea. Yeah,
Because they're meant to go towards the moon, aren't they?
yeah.
Moon's
That's
closer to the
what's
water.
kind of encoded in their DNA memory is like this is what you do. Like with a calf, it's like the first thing you have to do is learn to stand up if you're a calf, essentially, because there's no waiting around. The mother will just carry on without you.
Whereas we're fucking useless as babies. We just get put in the middle of the streets and jumped over.
Yeah, well, we are the baby Yodas of our planet, essentially. Like our infants are so vulnerable for so long. No other animal on this planet is as useless as we are when we're born.
Yeah.
Other apes and chimps and stuff like that, then yes, they tend to also have infantile babies that remain infantile for longer. It's definitely a more mammal thing than any other thing, but a lot of mammals out there are born and immediately have to move and be alert and active and know how to exist.
Yeah.
Which is where the whole theory of DNA memory and stuff comes from. Because it's like, well, then how do they fucking know?
Yeah, you don't really have time to learn how to stand up if you've literally just been born.
Unless it's encoded. Whereas we, over time, as we've evolved and we've lived in safer and safer societies, that has got less and less, to the point where our infants are infantile for like 2 or 3 years.
I mean, not to be funny,
Sometimes.
but I would...
Some kids are, I must admit, are advanced, and you'll have fucking kids waddling around at fucking 1 year old and stuff. It's just insane. Some kids are much more advanced than other kids, but most of the time, infancy lasts for like... Infancy definitely is included in the scientific definition as like that point where they are aware of self. So when a baby recognizes itself in a mirror as itself and not another entity, which up until like the age of 3, 4, 3, definitely not 4. Like up until the age of like 3, there are some kids that won't understand that they are an individual. They will see other people as an extension of themselves and stuff like that. And people who don't grow out of that are called sociopaths.
It sounds like a lot of adults. Yeah. So, I've gathered some examples of dark places for you. So you've got Warrumbungle National Park in New South Wales, Australia, which is a dark sky park.
Nice.
You've got
Any reason? Do we know the reason why it's a dark sky park?
I just assume
It just is.
Yeah, it just is. You might
Shut up, Howard.
Thank you, Ed. So, you have Mataki Tarangi, which is Eyes to the Sky, which is the British Overseas Territory in Pitcairn.
Yep.
Pitcairn.
Sure.
No, it's Pitcairn. It might be Pitcairn.
Pitcairn.
Pitcairn Islands. In the middle of the South Pacific Ocean, which is a dark sky sanctuary. You have the Wilderness State Park in Michigan, US of A.
Michigan, we like
which
Michigan.
is a dark sky preserve.
Preserve.
And then you have, and last but not least, you have Dripping Springs in Texas, US of A, which is a dark sky community, much like our beloved Sark.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here for. We're not here for the dark skies, babies, and light pollution. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. We're jumping back to August 1990.
Oh.
Where an unemployed nuclear physicist, Andre Gards, or Garrards,
Let's go with guards because it sounds cooler.
God sounds way better. Who attempted to invade Sark.
So it was a guy.
With a semi-automatic weapon.
Jesus
just one.
Christ. I'm going to assume they don't have guns on the island. Or
Or
at least not unless you're a police or military presence.
Yeah, probably. He believed he was a rightful heir and senior, I think it's senior, of Sark. So this is, senior's kind of like the ruler of Sark's like king of the island. I think they still have to abide by everything that France says.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And they have to like...
Well, because France
for permission.
France doesn't have a monarch anymore, does it?
like
They
that.
got rid of their monarch.
I don't think... It was like a prime minister,
But
maybe.
we're talking about like obviously where it went as far back as like God knows how far it went back.
Well, this is 1990.
So well, yeah, but like back in the day, like way back in the day when France did have a monarch, they were probably like a lord in this country. What would be considered a lord?
Oh yeah, probably. It's probably sort of a lord.
Yeah.
A lord of Sark. I will take that. When he arrived in Sark, he hung 2 posters declaring his invasion. The plan was...
So it was all very done by the book, I suppose.
I suppose he only bought 2 posters with him. He didn't-
Excuse me, I'm invading. You
You
there?
Surrender!
Do you know who I am?
I am the senior of Sark.
Well, you will soon. Now, tell the other... Oh.
Oh, he was the only one.
It's my island.
Yeah! Then just 50 people come with guns.
Yeah, my island.
Where am I defend? Oh, it's just me. So the plan was...
Have you got a poster?
It's right there. I should have stayed home. My island. So the plan was he got there on the night, and I think he got there on the night, and the plan was that he was at noon. he was going to begin the invasion. So he let everyone know in that 5-meter radius of the posters.
You there?
that he was come and read this. It's really important.
What? No, come back!
Someone's invading you.
It's me.
Just unloads on him right there. It has begun. They'll never see it coming.
I'm sorry, but the idea, it's just too silly, the concept of one guy just invading, and the fact that he didn't just, like, come in and open fire, he came in and said, there's a poster there, I'm invading, there's one there, I'm invading here, I'm invading there.
I've run out of posters, I can't invade there anymore.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, just give me a few days.
Have you got a printer?
I've got it on my memory stick. It's
1990, isn't it? I'll be back in 20 years.
I'll write it down. You're just on the boat. For fuck's sake. They're probably preparing their defences.
The fools.
They have no chance.
I have posters.
So yeah, he only hung up 2 posters.
What if you didn't see the poster?
Then you're just a casualty of war, I'm afraid. He takes no prisoners. So the next day, he set out to conquer the island. Sitting on a bench, waiting for noon to roll around, a volunteer constable approacted Andre.
It's a small island. No one's up till noon.
Yeah, there's only one bench, so everyone.
Everyone turns up at the bench. Who's this on our bench?
It's my allotted time. I think you'll see. I'm allowed to.
I get 12 to 1.
Bro, the ducks are coming. I've bought my.
He won't get off the bench.
Arrest him.
He's got a poster. Let's
what
get
does
him
it
off.
say? Invasion. I just want to imagine any confrontation. He just starts firing. So the volunteer constable approached Andre. He complimented his weapon and he asked to see the magazine of the weapon.
That's a clever cop.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, oh, you're a big man. You got a nice gun. Just have a look at that. And it's mine.
Could you take the bullets out of it, please, and show me? At which point, the constable took the gun and punched him in the nose.
I was going to say, what a fucking genius. I love this. Just casually, that is a nice gun.
He's a smart one. He's dealt with invasions before.
He's actually their commander.
Constable.
He's like the commander of their military.
Yeah, it's kind of like
just like a 60-year-old bloke with a little bobby hat. That's a nice gun.
It's like is it the Lord of the Rings when they have all the people come to the top of the hill and surround the guy? That's just the army of Sark coming above. There's another one. We've waited for this day.
We do love an invasion.
Now
I don't know where we're from Yorkshire.
And over the one magazine. Yeah, I wonder how many magazines he would have carried with that one. Probably not enough to get rid of everyone.
I imagine they probably talk with more of a French accent than a Yorkshire
Oh,
accent.
probably. Oh, aye, you've come our pods now. Oh,
I'm Welsh, you see.
Or whoever Yorkshire people speak.
I've got all Welsh.
I've moved. So, so he punched him in the face and arrested him.
Amazing.
And gave him a 7-day sentence that he served in Guernsey.
Nice.
The gun is now in a museum on Sark. So if you wanna go see the ultimate weapon,
The trophy of the invasion of Sark.
you can also find his body there. No, you can't.
I can't believe that he literally just went and sat on a bench and then that's how it ended.
And just waited. Yeah, I wanted him.
What was he waiting for?
Noon?
What was he going to do at noon?
Invade?
And the cop was just like, and that's dealt with that.
He just goes, "Oh shit! It's 11:49. Everyone get down!" But no, because the poster said he was invading at noon, so he was staying to his plan. He was waiting around for noon. He hadn't ordered a bed or anything.
not
I think
the
he just went.
brightest.
I think he just went with one set of clothes and
He wasn't the brightest.
no. I mean, if he was smarter, he would have invaded just France themselves.
To be honest, you could have invaded the island by just don't put the poster, and then sit on the bench at noon with a gun, and then when everyone turns up at noon, just like, what's this guy doing?
I'm sorry.
And then at least you have the element of surprise.
Well, I'm sorry to burst your Bobblehead, but I don't think many people saw the poster and were like, "Oh shit, well that's where he's going to be." I think the guy probably just saw him with a gun and was like, "Oh, he's not
That's a
meant to
man
have
with a
that." Invasion, just his first thought. I would love to be in that room where he explains that he was going to invade and not just had a gun.
Yeah. No. You can't just put me on charges for that. No, I was here to invade.
This is a war crime.
and this is my island.
Get off. Police. Never heard of
There's
such
no
thing.
police on my island.
Get out. I am the ruler. You have to unshackle me. It's the rules. I've made them up. But did that stop him, Howard?
Yes.
No, of course
he's
not.
He's in prison.
Of course not. He was only there for 7 days, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he learned his lesson, didn't he?
He attempted to attack once more. But he was intercepted at Guernsey.
I'm
and he
assuming he didn't-
never tried again.
I'm assuming he didn't have a gun this time because they took my only gun.
He had to make one. He had to
He
make
just
one.
walked up with a stick.
He's got just his hand in his pocket.
Yeah, sat on the bench with a fucking like bulge in his pocket. Just, I'm invading.
Don't make me pull the trigger. You can't see the... Whoa!
I couldn't afford a full post this time, so it was just an A5 letter. Like
Sharpie on it.
he'd tried to write invading on it, but he ran out of space. And he had to curve the letters down the side.
As people, what an invade. What?
He's in Verdade.
But
Where's that?
what? Huh? Where is Cars? Just can't spell either. So yeah, he got intercepted in Guernsey, and they would. I don't think he tried again. So that is the
Well,
end of the story for
should hope
Andre, our friend,
The idiot.
friend of the show, Andre.
Wonder what happened to him.
And with that one, let's move on to our next fact, which is quite a nice one, and you probably have heard of this one. Today I learned about the immortalized Orc Slayer.
No, I don't think I have. I might if you go into it, but I don't think
You
I have.
probably will as soon as I read this first line. So, Monolith Productions,
He is.
known for games like Fear 1 and 2, Condemned 1 and 2, which I didn't know, good games.
Yeah.
Gotham City Imposters, which I think, if my memory's right, it was
It was
a
an online
free-to-play
game, yeah.
It was a free-to-play, like, sort of like Fortnite.
I never played it, and
game.
it did look a bit odd, but apparently
saw it on
people
Steam.
enjoyed it.
Apparently
I do
it was
remember
quite good.
people enjoying it, so...
I don't
Good
know
on
if
them.
the servers are still active.
I don't
but
think they are, no.
you can go and have a look. The Matrix Online,
Oh, okay.
you know Monolith.
I know Monolith, yeah. Fuck, I remember the Matrix Online.
And most importantly, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor / War.
I do know this.
Yeah.
This is that glitch that guy had. No?
No.
I
But you
thought-
can tell me about that afterwards, because I'll be interested in hearing about that.
It was a glitch with a save game, wasn't it? The Immortal...
Nope.
Because there was an orc that... Have you heard of the other story?
No, you will have to tell me this.
Okay.
Tell me, Ned. Tell me.
There
Ned.
is I think he was an orc. No, he was like he might have been a troll, big troll.
Yeah.
Essentially, this guy, he played a save game where
Is this on War or
I think
Mordor?
it's the newer one,
the
the
newest
War.
one? That's War. Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly how the video goes, but it was a glitch where this guy essentially he went through a series of events where he was an asshole to this character. He kind of was horrible to him.
Okay.
And then when he played the game on an earlier save,
I know what you're on about, I think.
the troll seemed to have this weird sentience where it remembered what had happened to it previously, and then he would just attack him. He wouldn't be able to get away from this character. He would appear as a really high level version of the character.
Oh, okay.
And would fucking trounce this character, this player,
Okay.
because it somehow
shit.
it was a weird glitch, but
That's kind of
somehow
scary.
it remembered the options that he had taken.
Oh, well,
previously.
that's in the game anyway. That's a feature in the game that they do remember your last encounters.
But it was the fact that he'd gone to an earlier. He'd got basically started like a newer game.
Oh, he started a
But
new
when
game.
the character first appeared, it remembered the options
Oh
from
my
a
god! I
previous.
completely
It was
missed
a
that
different. It's
part.
a different game.
Oh my god!
It remembered.
quite scary.
and he was like, "What the what?"
That's quite scary. That's sort of
but it's the glitch came about
Creepypasta.
because this is part of the mechanics of the game.
yeah. It just transferred over that piece of save data.
Yeah. So somehow those saves got corrupt, and it somehow something. Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
he was just like, it was just really creepy. It was almost like the game was like had its
Fighting
own-
him virtually.
Yeah, but I mean, games have this weird property of causing these glitches. There's a level on one of the earlier Mario Brothers games. Can't remember which one it is, but through a series of events, you can get to a level that the game generated itself. The developers don't know how it did it, where it came from.
Okay.
It just did.
And it.
It's a level
Oh.
that isn't supposed to exist in the game. It wasn't a level that was cut. It was a level that the game, in a panic over something, over an error, created this weird level. It's
Would it change every time?
It's completely incoherent. I think it's the same every time because it's hard coded into the engine.
So it's not sort of procedurally generated.
They didn't realise till it was too late. Yeah, it's not procedurally. As far as I'm aware, it's not procedurally generated. They weren't aware of it until someone ran into the issue.
Oh.
And there's no way to complete the level or anything. It's a death trap essentially because there's no way you can get through the level. It's completely incoherent.
Do you have to sort of glitch yourself to get into that?
Yeah, it's entirely where the game shits itself and panics essentially. Well, the thing is, it's hard coded, so whenever someone did this particular action, then that panic would replicate itself. And I think it's when you go through a pipe, and then the game puts you in this new level that isn't supposed to be in the game. But the game, through its because any amount of coding is a very simple consciousness. It's like a very simple sentience, but you've hard coded it to do this one specific thing, so it can't think for itself, but it can fail and it can do something very human
shit
and
the bed and make
panic.
a fake level.
And the reason it can do that is because it was made by humans, so it can
Oh god.
So games have this weird way of creating these odd
Anomalies.
glitches where it can kind of feel like the game's thinking for itself. It's not. It's where the game's panicked and fucked its code up, essentially.
Well, this isn't quite as creepy as both of those stories, but this is about exclusive producer Michael Forgy. It's either Forgy or Forgy. I want to say Forgy because that sounds
Like Feige.
Yeah,
And not Fiji.
Fiji. So yeah, this is about Michael Forgy. I want to say it's that. He died of a brain tumor on March the 3rd, 2016, unfortunately. Only
Rest
age
in peace.
43. Rest in peace. Young age. He was a massive music enthusiast who played in a band called Orc Slayer, which was made up of Monolith employees.
Yeah.
You can go and listen to the music wherever it is hosted.
Okay. I will actually look into that.
Yeah, it's I think it's got it. Well, with a name like Orc Slayer, it's got to be sort of I'm going to say a metal band.
I'm going to assume like fantasy metal, which
Yeah.
I'm fine with.
Well, there you go. So this is what Monolith Studio head Kevin Stevens and director of art Phil Straub had to say about 4G. Mike was larger than life, said Kevin. Mike was an incredible inspiration to our team. He was our front man in many respects. Everybody loved Mike. Mike was a fantastic guy, added Phil. He was a guy who always wanted to help people. He was a great manager of people. So, good guy all around. So, Monolith decided to immortalize him within the game. They created a $3.99 DLC called Forthog Orc Slayer DLC.
Yeah. But I don't know it like intimately, so
yeah. So it's $3.99. Unfortunately, I don't think you can get it anymore. Or you might be able to
it's
still
probably
get it.
bundled up with something.
You can
It's
probably
probably just in the game now.
well, of the $3.99, $3.50 go to the family of Michael. But at the time, unfortunately, there was confusion whether certain states out of the US and us when we purchased the game. So the people were thinking that anything outside the states, Monolith just profited from, and it was
because it's going through subsidiaries and stuff.
Yeah. But Warner Brothers issued a statement saying neither Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment nor Monolith Productions will profit from any sales of the Forthog Orc Slayer DLC, regardless of the territory in which the DLC is sold. So they cleared that up. And this ran on until the 31st of December. Literally just gone, 2019. So
So they ran it for 3 years?
Yeah, so they ran it for 3 years.
That's good.
That's why I'm either confused whether you can even pick it up now, but I think that might just be how long they dedicated the donations to. Because
it's like I'm not going to pretend to be ungrateful. Like it's an amazing thing that they've
it is an
done,
amazing thing.
But I would have tried to find a way to continue it. So Bill Burr every year does the Patrice O'Neill special.
He does a stand up for Patrice, doesn't he?
Because
for the family.
And he started it years ago and he refuses to stop. He says he's essentially going to do it till he dies because he was like, that money, like to just do one kind of goodbye and appreciation for the person
and just sort of forget them and
to
forget
hand
the
over
family.
a bulk of money and then just kind of leave it. He was like I couldn't do that to them. You can't just give them that 1 year and then be like there that solves all your problems. It's like, no. He was like, this supports the family. Like Patrice O'Neill's family is supported until I die, essentially, and hopefully someone will continue the tradition until it's needed, essentially.
That's a really good cause.
Yeah. So it's
Because it does make sense, doesn't it? 'Cause
yeah,
you can get
which
a
is why
huge
I'm
lump
not.
sum.
Yeah, which is why I'm not going to pretend to be ungrateful. Like it's still an amazing thing they've done. But if you've got the capacity, I would just keep doing it.
Yeah. And bring it into your next game as well. Which would be nice.
Find a way to if the family say no, we're good, then obviously you step away. But if the family could use that money, if they could use your continued help, someone who puts so much into your company, then the least you can do is, if you've got this thing that it doesn't take up too much time, it doesn't take up too much of your resources, if you can just put a simple little thing in like your new version of the game. So if you've got a new version of the game, or you've got a new game and you've got somewhere where you can put a little thing in that might make a bit of money and it doesn't financially bankrupt you, then if you've got the means, then I would just say do it.
But this was great.
Yeah. Like I'm not going to pretend
Anyway.
I'm not going to,
So thank you, Monolith, for this, and thank you to the family.
That would just be my plea to people with money. If you can afford to, do it until the family tell you to piss off.
I think it was somebody. I can't remember who it was that I saw did this. It was sort of an owner of a big company paid. I think it was Rosa Parks, rent for her just for life.
Yeah,
essentially
because of what she did.
Yeah,
yeah.
And just instead of just paying her rent for 1 month or something, you know what I mean? Just looked after her, I suppose.
He was
looked
like,
after the rent.
It's not rent. You just live here.
Yeah,
There you go. That's yours.
You kind of deserve this.
Yeah.
So, what happens in this DLC? I'll go into. It's not a huge DLC as evident by the amount that they can give back.
Yeah.
He occasionally appears in your game. He's wielding, which it looks awesome. It's kind of like a guitar with an axe on the side. It's kind of the axe has been wedged into the side. Looks. Oh, I don't know if you can get it in game. I don't think you can. I don't know actually.
I assume you can. It would probably be quite easy to pop play then.
I can't remember if you can only get swords in that game. I think you might only be able to get swords and you just apply them. So unfortunately, you can't really get this. But he I don't know if you've played the game, but there's quick time events whenever you lose a fight to an orc. I think you get 2 quick time events, and then the third one they just kill you.
Yeah.
But you get quick time events where you can press like one of the 4 buttons, and it saves you essentially. But occasionally he would turn up and kill one of the orcs for you, and then just walk off. Then these are some of his quotes. I'm going to try and do them in a very awful orc impression. Your day will come, Ranger, but not today. Orcs around here know my name because I burn the light away. Which I don't understand. I assume it's just you burn the light in their hearts.
Orcs don't have hearts. They're evil.
They just have fireplaces.
Orcs are born from the earth, aren't they? They're born of mud and clay. And
Are they? Oh. Why are they so
I'm
hard
sure
to
they
fight?
are. Orcs, at least in Lord of the Rings, I thought orcs were like the army of like Saruman's.
I thought they
Or are they not
were.
orcs?
I thought they were like the elves who had.
Oh, they're the
corrupted.
corrupted elves, aren't they?
I think so.
I've watched so much fantasy shit, and like
It sort of melds into one,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Really.
The Witcher has thrown me through a loop. Good season.
Good show. Apparently,
It was good.
I will have to get
I'm
that.
just
on a
hoping
watch.
they increase the budget for season 2, but otherwise, yeah, really good.
The only thing I worry about when I go into this series is the fact that going from the Mandalorian to this, from one big series production to another.
I went from the Mandalorian straight into The Witcher. That was the next thing I watched after the Mandalorian, and I think
So
the
I feel like I'm gonna have
Mandalorian
too high expectations.
kind of ruined me.
That's what
I
I'm
watched The
thinking.
Witcher and I just went, I really wish this just had a couple more million.
Yeah.
Because Disney have ruined TV with
I-
that show. It's like, if you can't compete with this, then don't bother.
I do feel sorry for the next couple of shows that I'm going to be watching because
They're going to be ruined.
I'm currently watching Rick and Morty. I've been watching The Mandalorian. I do feel sorry for the next I've been watching the Star Wars Clone Wars. I'm going to be really sorry for the next series that I watch and judge very harshly because I've had really good quality TV.
To be
currently.
fair, it plays well to how good The Witcher is, because I didn't come away from it feeling
You weren't
jaded
disappointed.
or anything. I wasn't disappointed. No, it's worth watching. So that says a lot for The Witcher, because I was like, after The Mandalorian, watching The Witcher, the main thing I was seeing throughout the series was like, oh, they could have done with a little bit more money on that effect there, a little bit more money on that there. But otherwise,
but no writing issues.
The script itself,
no
great.
acting issues.
Great script. Cavill was brilliant. The supporting cast, most of it was great.
He does fit the role quite well. He looks the part.
His grunt is just when he gets like pissed off, and every now and again when he just does the fuck.
And he's so nice. He's
really
such a
good.
lovely guy in real
Yeah.
life. And British. I didn't know he was British.
Oh yeah,
for the longest time.
yeah. Well, in this, it's like he gets to just do his own accent.
Oh, does he
and
do his own accent for
Yeah,
once?
it fits.
Nice.
It fits the role much
Perfect.
better. He does kind of make it a bit lower than it should be, because obviously that's kind of the Witcher kind of thing.
And sort of more Cockney.
It's
Is it more
very
Cockney?
kind of keeps it down here, but no, he talks quite normal, quite posh,
okay.
like himself.
Oh, that's great. I haven't seen him do anything like that in a TV show. Obviously, I've only heard him in his American accent on screen, because it's just been like Superman or whatever other things I've seen him in. Mostly just Superman. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's worth the watch, and if you've already got Netflix, even
Definitely.
better.
Beam it. I've just got so much shit on my plate right now to watch. But last but not least, the last one that I grabbed. There are a lot more of his sayings, but these are just the three that I grabbed. I've seen you fail many times, Ranger.
Ranger.
Keep getting up. That may have been a very shit version of his voice, because it is a good voice.
That sounds like something that would fit right into the game, to be honest. I have heard some of the voices, like I said, I watched that video about that weird glitch, and I've heard some of the voice acting in that game. That was pretty accurate. That was pretty good.
There's a lot of good voice actors on that. There's quite a few American people as well. I've heard there's this Asian I think he's a comedian, or he's a American TV sort of presence in America, and he's the voice in the game, and he doesn't sound like anything you'd suspect an orc. He's sort of like, hello there. Not Australian, but like he's just he's got quite a nasally, quite high pitched voice, as opposed to all of the other ones who come across and say Ranger.
Oh, fucking have you, mate.
I'll have your head. Like he's quite
You slag.
Hello there. Yeah, and anyway, let's move on to my final fact. Today I learned vending machines are dangerous. Vending machines are dangerous.
I don't know why you needed someone to teach you that.
Well, vending machines kill, sharks don't, which was a headline in Ruta in 2004.
No, sharks have never killed anyone except for all those people they've killed. What?
Except for all the people who've never been able to recover.
Like, I'm not saying like it's not some of their own fault, but Jesus Christ, like sharks don't kill people. I've heard of these deniers. It's like they absolutely fucking kill people. It's in their nature. I'm not gonna make excuses for them.
Well, here you're wrong, Howard. Because
Sharks don't kill people.
statistics. More people are killed in the United States each year by vending machines, says a lifeguard in an article, in the article on Ruta 2004.
Yeah, but
so it's in
that
comparison.
doesn't take away from the fact that sharks do kill. Do not
Maliciously
just go
kill
hang out
people.
with sharks, you fuck.
Yeah, just
You're a fucking idiot.
take a vial of blood in with you and just squirt it in the water and
Don't even need
Right
to do
in.
that.
Right
You don't
in.
even need to do that. The thing is, like,
they
sharks.
don't really.
Everyone always like
They
takes
don't
away
like the taste.
Well, everyone always takes the fact that sharks can taste a certain amount of. They can taste like
can
a very
smell
small
it,
amount
can't
of blood in like basically like they can like in every so much amount of water they can taste like blood in like 1/1,000,000th of whatever. It's like it's a ridiculously small amount of cellular matter needs to be there for them to, and it can be like from a mile away, and they can
Straight
can
over,
beam
just
in
beeline.
on that thing. But if they can do that with blood, they can do that with the scent of your body as well. So people always use that statistic because it sounds cool, but if you're in the water, that shark is probably aware of you.
Yeah, as soon as you touch that water.
Is the rule is the thing you should take away from that. Is like you don't need to be bleeding, you just need to be in the fucking water.
You just need to be there. You just need to be there, moving and alive, and
It's
they'll
like
come
you
for you.
trying to hide in a field of grass from a dog. They can smell you. They know where you are.
You're an idiot.
Just because, like, you're anthropomorphizing an animal when you're like, they can only sense the way we sense. It's like, no, they're better than you in a million ways.
Like kind of how they say T-Rexes can only see
And
you if you
sharks
move.
will kill you.
Yeah. Don't fight one. I mean, if you do punch them in the nose, that's apparently the way to fight a shark. But I don't know from personal experience.
I'm not taking away from it. I love sharks and they have every right to be here as much as any other animal. But I'm also not a fucking idiot.
Just don't swim with them. The moral of the story.
Just leave them the fuck alone and they'll leave you the fuck alone.
And if you really want to, take a cage.
I'm sure vending machines are very dangerous, but so are sharks.
I walk past a vending machine every day.
You fucking idiots.
So vending machines are thought to have killed 4 to 6 times the amount of sharks do in the US. So 2 to 4 people die from vending machines.
I hate it when people put these kind of stupid statistics together.
Only 1 dies from a shark every year.
How many people get killed by... Here's my question. How many people get killed by vending machines in the middle of the fucking ocean? I want those statistics.
3. So
it depends on your situation.
Yeah, you don't take all of the aspects into account, Howard.
That's the problem. I'm taking all aspects into account. How many times have people been killed by sharks in the hallway to a gym entrance?
1 every year. So on the
how many people tried to put coins in sharks?
On the Reddit post, the top comment is Mr. Wawa, try shoving a quarter into a shark. I bet those numbers change.
See, the man after my own heart.
Mr. Wawa. On Reddit, we salute you. But to make numbers worse, 1,700 injuries are reported every year from vending machines, compared to only 25 from sharks. Because there are billions of people walking around in the ocean.
I'm sure those 25 people are just there going, I wish it had been a vending machine.
I
wish it would have been a vending machine, but no, it was much worse and more painful.
And somebody said, this was in the article saying, but this doesn't let the sharks off the hook. You are 10 times more likely to die if you're attacked by a shark than if you're attacked by a vending machine. If a vending machine goes rogue.
Oh, God.
I don't usually copy things from an article, but I had to copy that line. It's ridiculous. So, in 2001, the Darwin Award featured a nominee, Kevin. I couldn't get his last name.
He's Kevin.
So, the Darwin Award is a tongue-in-cheek award, essentially. It's sort of like I think it's like the Raspberries. Is it the Raspberries? Movie awards, I think it is.
The Razzies.
Razzies, is it? Oh, that's a better word than raspberries. So it's sort of like that, but for real life. They recognize individuals. So this is on the Wikipedia page. They recognize individuals who have supposedly contributed to human evolution by selecting themselves out of the gene pool via death or sterilization by their own actions. So they're forwarding us. They're helping us, basically.
I do love the Darwin Awards, to be fair. They are a genius idea.
So Kevin from Quebec in Canada was nominated for tipping over a Coca-Cola machine, which subsequently fell on him, killing him via asphyxiation. Coca-Cola has since slapped a warning label on these machines to ward
be like Kevin.
to ward off potential tippers. It's kind of like, how they have the pictures on the front of cigarette packets. Yeah. It's just a picture of him underneath.
Crushed underneath.
Yeah, no one helped him. Somebody just got under and took a picture.
This'll save someone's life.
At least they've done that in Canada. I don't think they've done it in America. So stay safe out there, Americans.
Stay safe out there, eh?
Eh.
Don't put your hand in a vending machine.
So I thought I'd have a look at some other weird death statistics for us to ponder over. Falling TVs. Can you guess how many people die a year from that?
At least 8.
41. 41 people a year die a year from TVs falling on them.
We've told you about that article that we had stuck to my kitchen door for years.
Oh, was that the...
15 killed by falling garlic.
Yeah. I was going to say
it's the perfect headline.
That's even worse.
Somehow, I can't even remember what the article was now. We just had
Wasn't
the headline.
We
just had the headline typed in, and it was just 15 killed by falling garlic. And it was just perfect. So how'd you kill that many people with falling garlic?
I may have to dig up that article, maybe for an episode.
We'll have to see if we can find it. Oh, God.
Eating. Can you guess how many people die a year from eating?
Oh God, because this counts as like fucking choking, so I'm going to say like in the millions.
3,000.
Is this just in the US or around the earth?
I think this is around the globe.
I would have thought it'd been more than that because just by the fact that there's 7 billion of us, I would have thought there'd be more.
You would have thought there would be a few more idiots. So
Well, just like it's just sometimes it's just an error. Like it goes down the kind of the wrong way, and then you're like, oh no,
this is the end.
I suppose it means it speaks a lot for the amount of people who know their Heimlich maneuvers.
Saying that though, this may be in America. I take seeing as the numbers are so low. I would say this is maybe in America alone.
Yeah.
Can you guess how many people die from not eating every year?
I'm gonna assume like American numbers now, so I'm gonna say like 500,000.
21,000. So not that much. Well, if you think about it, 3,000 die from eating, which a horrible shame not eating, dying that way. What a bloody way to go.
To be fair, like I could have said any number. The fact that it's 21,000's
Now that I'm seeing the
bad. Just the fact that it's 21,000. Never mind the fact that I said something stupid like 500,000.
It is bad. 21,000 people
Just
dying
the fact
from
is
not being able to eat is horrendous.
Yeah.
Jeez. I can't think of one of the, apart from drowning. I can't think of a way worse to go.
I'm not going to pretend that there are some people out there that have probably starved themselves, and it's not a matter of financial situation. But I'm going to assume the majority of that number is financial situation. So yeah,
unfortunately. To put it on a lighter tone, falling coconuts. How many people do you think die a year from that?
How many people fall into a comic book and then get killed by a falling coconut? 12.
More than you think. 150.
And this is like from trees or just like crates of coconuts falling on people's heads?
The statistics aren't clear on that one.
Be more specific.
I'm going to assume it's probably multiple, probably falling on someone's head too. It may be like that. Champagne corks. How many champagne corks
At
claim
least
lives?
10.
24. So 2 a month. 2 a month.
Oh dear.
Cows. How many people die from cows per year?
Oh, how specific is this going to be? Because what if you're eating beef and it's gone off?
I think it's while it's alive. I'm gonna say
So,
while
like,
it's still kicking.
Crushed by a cow or something. Okay. In a couple hundred.
20.
Oh.
Only 20. Hot tap water.
60.
100. Icicles falling.
More than coconuts. It's got to be more than coconuts. That's more common. 80.
15.
Ah!
Being left-handed.
What? No, I'm sorry. That is not like you could. That's just not being right-handed.
Being left-handed.
No. How many do it for just being right-handed?
No,
then?
to sort of go more into it, I thought that was a funnier way to put it. But it's people who are left-handed using tools and stuff that are meant for right-handed. It's like stuff like that. It's basically not being right-handed. How many people die from not being right-handed every year?
10.
2,500.
Oh no, that's not good at all.
Lightning.
200.
24,000.
Jesus Christ.
Falling out of bed. And last but not least,
all of them.
Falling out of bed.
All of them.
7 billion. You wanna have a crack at this one?
90.
450.
Why?
They had a nightmare. Oh God. Well, imagine if you're on a bunk bed.
How many of those were
you're on a
like
bunk bed.
they fell out the bed because of another symptom though?
Like lightning. So they get struck by lightning and then fall out the bed. Hey, what category do you put these people into?
No, they're you have to draw some Venn diagrams then.
Oh God, you're gonna have a pie chart. Yeah. Oh God.
I want to see the Venn diagram of all those deaths.
It just draws a stick man with crosses in its eyes. Oh God! But yeah, so so moral of the story: don't be a statistic. Let's move on to our next section.
Stop being a statistic.
Just stop falling out of bed. Let's move on to our next section.
Get away from that lightning,
Jimmy! Don't touch that lightning. It's bad for you. But why? And then he just falls out of bed the next day and dies. See, this is what happens. Oh God!
Get in that Venn diagram.
Steve, add another one. Yeah, so let's move on to our next section. 3 real, 3 fake, my personal favourite.
Three real and 3 fake.
Okay, Howard and everyone at home, welcome to my favourite section of the podcast, and I hope everyone else's favourite section of the podcast, 3 real, 3 fake, where I have gathered, well, as you can kind of tell, 3 real news articles and 3 fake news articles for us, well, for you and Howard, to decide, to ponder whether they are, in fact, factual or fiction.
Not factual.
Not factional. So, my first one is bottle gobbled up by man's anus when he tried to scratch an itch. Real or fake?
Well, I'm assuming that's what he told them, so real.
Burnaby driver too drunk to explain loaded handgun and silencer. Real or fake?
That's exactly what a hitman would do.
Silencer? What do you mean?
It's so I can be quiet.
When I kill you,
Bitch.
don't tell him. Just start screwing it on in front of the police officer.
I'm going to say fake.
Fake?
Yeah.
Russian family steal tank, crush 10 cars, and ram into the side of a prison hospital to free father.
Real.
Real?
Yes.
My next one is wearable vest. I have clicked on the article on accident. A wearable vest grows a self-sustaining garden watered by your own urine. Real?
Fake.
Or fake? I think this is my last one. Oh no, it's my second from last one. Peaceful climate protest turned into a brawl, then later turned into a talent contest in the space of 3 hours. Say
Real.
local police. Real?
Yeah.
And my last but not least one, Ohio, a Blarero man charged with assault after attacking cardboard cutout of himself, who turned out to be his neighbour returning from work.
Oh, fuck, I think that one's real, but I've got to say fake. I think I know that one.
You want to say fake?
Yeah, well, it's got to be. Well, I've got to, but I think I don't know if this is just my brain being absurd, but I think I might have heard last podcast on the left cover that story.
We'll soon find out. So, bottle gobbled up by man's anus is real.
Of course
So
it
you got that
is.
one real. You got that one right.
It's just what he told them was a lie.
It's just, you know, it
was an itch.
It just got stuck up there.
Because I was scratching my anus.
Like, I've read this article and I still don't know exactly how it happened.
Because he's lying.
Russian family steal tank and crush 10 cars. Unfortunately, fake. That is unfortunately fake. Some of these ones that I think of, as I've said in previous podcasts, I've said in previous episodes, like the fake stories that I think up, I'm like, God damn, how I wish this was real.
It does sound like Killdozer.
A Russian thing to do.
No,
sorry.
it was American.
Oh.
Have you not seen the story of Killdozer?
No. Give me a very brief description of this.
A man took a bulldozer, one of those ones with the big like arm thing on the front, and he made it bullet and bomb proof. He had to encase himself in steel and concrete with rebars and stuff like that. So once he was in, there was no way out. So he had to seal himself in with concrete.
Okay. Oh.
His plan was to. He went on a rampage because he was fired from his job, something to do with the law, a bunch of stuff. So he went on a rampage in his small town, destroying the
cars and buildings,
properties, buildings. He made something he could literally crash through buildings with,
and no one can get to him.
So the amount of property was like in the hundreds of millions of pounds or whatever worth of damage. He literally destroyed the town. I can't remember how he was stopped. He was clearly killed, but I can't remember how they killed him because his thing was literally this like bomb-proof, bulletproof.
And did he not know where he was going?
No, he knew exactly where he was going. He had a porthole he could see through. He was targeting the buildings. He was targeting the people that had wronged him, essentially. So, like, the courthouse gone, his previous place of, like, employment gone.
Oh, my goodness. I want to kind of get into this story now.
There was no casualties. He didn't kill anyone. He just, as far as I'm aware, he just destroyed the town.
Oh, gosh. You'll remember
and
his
there was
name after that, won't you? Really?
Standoff with police. I remember seeing like pictures of police like trying to like shoot like trying to nothing was working.
Oh my god! You should have done that in a country where they don't have weapons.
So the reason I said real was like I was like I've seen
It's
worse.
happened.
Yeah, it's happened. It just in America, not Russia.
So, the Burnaby, a drunk driver with the handgun and silencer, is real.
Oh.
That one's real, and that one's quite a long story actually.
I thought that'd be fake.
Um,
Was he a hitman?
No. I'll get, spoiler alert. No.
Oh.
My next one is the peaceful protest that turned into a brawl, then a talent contest is fake.
Damn it!
Again, another one. Wish it was real.
I wish I wasn't such a genius.
God, can people make this happen, please? And I will pay you all. Thank you.
Get on it.
My next one is the wearable vest that grows a garden.
It's gonna be real, isn't it?
Real. That is real. Welcome to the future.
I'm gonna assume that was invented in what, like China or something, or Japan.
Very weirdly guessed, and you'll see
Because
why.
they invented the self-sustaining eco skyscrapers. I think they're the first people to use them, where you have levels going up, and at the top, essentially, you have like a giant greenhouse. The greenhouse using solar and energy and everything, it kind of feeds down the building. Essentially, the building is supposed to be self-sustainable in the event of like the end of the world or something.
It's a good guess, but it's not as quite governmental as that.
It's not governmental. That's
Or like-
purely residential. Like that'll be corporations. But in China, obviously, everything's kind of dictated by. That's just what you get for being in China.
So yeah, but we'll get to that. You'll kind of see what that one's about. And last but not least, the Ohio man charged with assault after attacking a cardboard cutout of himself was fake. That one was fake.
Maybe I didn't hear that one then.
It may have been a similar story, maybe, but I didn't read any articles like that.
I remember something about a cardboard cutout, but it's probably a different story. Yeah. Well, no, it is a different story because that's fake.
Yeah, because this one's fake. So let's move to our first story: the bottle being gobbled up by the man's anus. This was a 60-year-old man in South China of the Guangdong.
Who just wanted to be loved.
The Guangdong province. He's not identified for obvious reasons.
Because he had a bottle up his.
Because he had a bottle up his arsehole. He went to the hospital and told doctors that he had an abdominal pain. After investigating,
It's caused by this bottle of my
It's caused by
arsehole.
this bottle that I shoved up there last week. Why did you do this? Don't judge me. What do
Are you
you
trying
do
to
on your days
shame
off?
me?
I will have you know, I'm an enthusiast. Thank you. So after investigating, they found the 2-inch wide bottle up there. A bit.
I don't know why they had to.
About that
I don't know
big?
why they had to find it. I'm sure the way he was walking told them everything they needed to know. I don't know what it could be.
Plus, his arsehole smelled flipping amazing. Because he was trying to scratch an itch around his anus, as you do, and his cologne bottle got sucked up. Which, what? Why? What? You were scratching it with the cologne bottle?
Sounds like it would burn.
It sounds like he was being adventurous.
Sounds like he knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh, no, it does. It sounds
And it
like
wasn't an itch.
it.
Or maybe it was.
Maybe
just
it was.
a different kind of itch that needed to be scratched.
With a cologne bottle. So the whole thing is 7 inches long with 2 inches wide.
Big cologne bottle.
It's probably like a deluxe version. So it's a Florida water cologne bottle, if anyone's familiar with Florida cologne. Florida water cologne. Oh God, I cannot say this. Gastroenterologist Dr. Lin Jun shared a picture of it it's in the article. The picture. It's not of his anus,
Yeah.
but it's of the bottle.
Hello, Neelix.
Hello, Neelix. You've come to
Just
join
jumped
us.
on the table. I can't see Alex, Neelix. Neelix?
With a big smile on his face. I can't see Alex.
All right, we can carry on.
But, yeah.
Kind of.
By any means, I will have him on the podcast. So, Dr. Lin said, so that picture of the cologne bottle is in the article if you want to go look at it. Links in the description. So Dr. Lin said, the patient told me my abdomen hurts. There's something inside. I can't poo or fart.
At least not into anything other than this bottle.
And it's not got very good capacity. The entire glass bottle was inside his rectum. I could feel the bottle under his abdomen, he said. His anus was itching.
Because of all the cologne that was leaking into it.
So Lynn said, I was very uncomfortable. This is what the guy said. I was very uncomfortable. So I bought the bottle of... I was feeling very uncomfortable. So I bought the bottle of Florida water and began scratching the itch. Then the bottle accidentally went up my rectum. So he's feeling uncomfortable and bought the Florida water bottle and used that to scratch his ass. Neelix, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's better to seek medical attention and let a doctor help you than attempt to resolve similar conditions by buying tools and such things. Which, again, what? Why would you buy a cologne bottle? Buy a scratcher? Buy metal wool, for fuck's sake. Buy something other than a cologne bottle to scratch your asshole. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we have medical information for a reason. Just don't get the proper apparatus next time. Thank you. They are sold at various shops that you can probably buy them in shame. Apparently you should make a full recovery after removing the bottle, so no concern there. Sweat off the brow for that one. The guys are going to be completely fine.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the only one.
Except for the trauma.
Except from the trauma and the stretch marks.
And the embarrassment.
And the embarrassment of having to look your doctor in the eye every day after that happens.
So, how's your bunghole?
So, how's the cologne? He just couldn't get it out. It's just still in there. So, has it moved up any further?
Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so for my paycheck's sake. But as I say, he wasn't the only one. This guy isn't a lone trooper. He hasn't done a solo invasion of his asshole. Somebody else has.
Oh, this has happened. There's literally, I think there's like probably subreddits on it and stuff where doctors have like got X-rays of things that people have shoved up their arse and then gone, it was I was doing. It's like, just be honest. Look, you've done a very human thing. Let's just move on. Let's help you out.
let's let.
We know
this
it's a very
move on.
human thing because of the amount of people who do it.
Well, I thought you were going to say there's a subreddit dedicated to people who just shove cologne bottles up
No,
their
no,
arse.
just things like...
Make it happen.
They found like fucking full-on action figures and screwdrivers, and they found every manner of like stuff up
Pennies?
there. It's ridiculous. There's probably
Coffee
someone who
cups?
stuffed like someone probably stuffed stacks up there or something. Like, people have found all manner of things that should not be in arseholes, and there's literally like, you can see like X-ray pictures of it. I think someone did like a documentary on it. It's that like,
oh god,
it's
this is
that
documentary on it.
It's that common. It's so.
I mean, when you think about it,
But
it's kind
people
of...
always have an excuse, and it's never good. It's like, just be honest. Look what you've done.
I was just trying
Look what
it
you've
out.
done to your breakfast.
That plate isn't going to be used again. Oh god, as if I'd never realised it was such a phenomenon. But
That's why this wasn't shocking to me.
I'll
which is
do
why
some research.
I said fake at the beginning because I was like, this happens all the time. It's probably just like, yeah. But no.
But it did.
Yeah.
But it did. And
It happens.
I suppose we'll have to do some first-hand research on this.
I'll see if I can
I
find that
volunteer
documentary
you,
for
not
you.
me.
Oh god.
Have a look.
When I find out that it's like, oh, this happens way too often.
This happens way too often for it to be interesting.
For it to be shocking, like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, another one.
So yeah, the similar case happened with the same cologne bottle, actually, like with the exact same cologne bottle. They had
I'm
to
assuming he saw the news article of the first guy. Went, it's a brilliant idea.
I've been living life all wrong. Where's my cologne bottle? He just runs barges
he
through
went
the
out
house.
and bought that one specifically. He was like,
No, I want to imagine that
and
he's
he was
already
like,
got the bottle.
I'm not an idiot. I won't get it stuck.
no! What a fucking idiot! And then so he had to be Anastasia's,
Anastasia's.
Anesthetized?
And anesthetized.
Anesthetized. Oh, great job. You'll have to carry on reading. He was anesthetized from the waist down, and a metal wire was used to hook out the bottle before it was pulled out. What? Oh, hook onto the bottle before it. He's like, Jesus, how many did I have up there?
Oh, that's just us putting more stuff up.
Gary? So, on to my next fact. That is the end of that one. The Russian family... Oh, I already told you. Did I tell you? The Russian family...
That one was false, wasn't it?
Who stole a tank was false, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, fake.
So, yeah, my next one is the Burnaby driver who was too drunk to explain a loaded handgun and silencer.
Oh, this one was real, wasn't it?
This was Curtis Dieter Sandy Schmidt, 29-year-old from Burnaby,
Sandy
Canada.
Schmidt.
Someone reported a possible drunk driver in a red pickup tailgating another vehicle on the Burnaby Highway at about midnight. Burnaby? Officers went to the house, registered to the car, and waited for Curtis. So I assume they got the license plate and were able to properly report it. When he saw the police, he hopped out of his car and ran for the woods. After police caught up with him, they asked him why he had weapons, extra ammo, body armor, and a silencer. He said he didn't know, and that he'd just been drinking for several days, and that he bought them earlier.
It's Thursday.
I went to Walmart.
And this is America.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's Canada.
Oh,
It's
wait.
Canada.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I crossed the border for 10 minutes. I came back.
This is
Ta-da! Look at my
Canada.
haul. He had told the same story when he was a witness in the case of the Mark Anthony Arita
I don't know.
trial.
It just happened.
If you know this trial,
I don't think
you
so.
can skip this part, I suppose, if you don't want it explained to you
I don't think I know it.
like an idiot again. But this was back in July 2008, where Mark, so it's the trial of Mark Anthony Arita.
Oh, wait,
So
no.
Mark shot 3 people outside of a Red Jacket nightclub on View Street. I hate this name. Sompavan. It's Sompavan.
Oh, I'm loving this.
Chantabola. Actually, no. I'm going to call him Mark 2. So Mark 2 called him to the nightclub after being in a confrontation with Townley. Mark shot at Lee and his friends. However, he shot and killed Philbert Trong, a 20-year-old University of Victoria student. So he got caught in the crossfire. He did kill the 3 men originally. So mission complete. But but he accidentally hit somebody
Murder
else.
complete.
Murder complete.
Crime committed. And run.
Stay frosty. So Mark was convinced he did nothing wrong. He was convicted in April 2010 on 1 count of second-degree murder.
Wait, what?
And 2 counts of attempted
okay.
murder, and sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 10 years. What? That's not life.
Life in America, it doesn't mean life.
That's 10 years. Life isn't 10 years. Unless he's like 93 years old, that's not life. Oh, God. Mark... So... What Mark did, clever, stupid boy, appealed that he had poor eyesight, but the appeal was rejected.
I thought I was shooting vampires.
I was on acid.
Clearly, this man is innocent.
Vampires are rampant in Canada.
He was just trying to protect the citizens.
He was a hero.
The vampire slayer.
I kissed him gently as he left. But no, that's not what happened. Saying even if his eyesight was poor, he still shot multiple people in the chest. Mark II was also found guilty on 1 count of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder and sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 14 years. So he got worse. I suppose he got worse because he was the mastermind behind the operation.
Yeah.
As am I. He claimed that he was passed out drunk with his iPhone. So this is back to our first guy. So he claimed that he was passed out drunk with his iPhone. But they found his phone had been used 95 times that night, including using it to order a Victoria taxi that apparently brought Mark 1 to the nightclub. but his inability to answer the questions made the judge ask if he was on medication or brain injured. Which is the best way I've heard it.
on medication or is your brain injured?
Have you sprained your brain? Curtis said no. Not sure the rest of the details. I'm not sure the rest of the details of the case as far as Curtis goes.
Yeah.
But we know how Mark and Mark 2, Mackie Mac, got treated by the justice system. But fuck that case. Let's jump to 2017's case, where BC provincial.
Sounds about right. Provincial.
Prophetic court judge Paul Mayers was not impressed with Curtis at his sentencing. The gun was openly resting on the seat. The gun was cocked along with loaded magazine in it, and he had a silencer locked in place. The gun had never been registered in Canada. The gun had no serial number on it.
He sounds like a hitman.
He was he was already under 4 separate orders prohibiting him from possessing firearms. 4. How do you get past the second one?
Well, the fact that it doesn't have a serial number
for the fact that
means
it's not registered.
He didn't buy it from
a reputable seller,
yeah.
Walmart.
Black market,
I swear you can get guns from Walmart. I may be wrong, but I swear there's an aisle. There's an aisle.
It's kind of blown out of proportion by the media. Someone on YouTube did quite a good video on it. There's not that many Walmarts that do still do it, and the ones that do it are. There's a lot of like stuff made. You can't just walk into a Walmart. And
you have to be
buy a gun.
checked, and
there's
it's
a lot
behind
of
a
stuff.
lock safe.
There's 99% of the time you'll go in there and you won't walk out with a gun the same day.
Yeah,
like
you have to go through a lot of procedures.
Yeah, like I'm not a supporter of like guns without gun control, but people who like a company like Walmart, of course they're paying attention to the rules. Of course they're doing everything by the book. Like they're a mega corporation.
They don't want to get shut down.
They're a mega corporation. They're not going to do the stupid thing of just like, here's a gun. No,
that'll be $20.
Like, thing is, guns with good gun laws and stuff like that. If it's done well, I don't have an issue with like guns. It's just a lot of the time media kind of blows out of proportion in American. Because unfortunately, the thing is, they always make up shit, but then it's like you don't need to make up shit. Just tell us the truth. Like there's enough. Like when it comes to like the actual like shootings and stuff in America, like there's enough truth there for us to go. No, you need to have restrictive gun laws. You don't need to make up bullshit about like.
Unfortunately,
about how easy it is to get a gun in America, because a lot of the time it isn't easy to get a gun in America. It's the people. There are people out there who don't pay attention to those rules, and it's like going, it's as common as buying one in Walmart. It's not as common as buying one in Walmart, and if you do, and there are places that don't pay attention to the rules and aren't strict enough, and they're the problem essentially.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you get guns in this country? Well, just like in any other country, there are bad players out there who will. You can't
do checks for what everyone's going to do. No. I mean,
the only thing you can do is, unfortunately, make it harder to get guns and more restrictive laws. And the people who are standing in the way of restrictive laws, and it's like you don't need that. You don't need that weapon a lot of the time.
If no one else has one, no one else is going to be using one.
Well, we live in a country where it's
illegal.
It's illegal. And it's applicable because it's been illegal for so long that it is very hard to get a gun in this country. Not impossible, but very hard.
Yeah.
In America, it's
more accessible.
It's too far gone, and it is kind of written into the. It's written into the Constitution. It's not something you can easily take away. Unfortunately, it's one of the things their fucking country is fucking founded on.
I suppose it's like us with our NHS.
Is the fact that government in their country is something that was, at that time when the Constitution was written, was seen as something that was understood to be something that could become nefarious. And to be honest, every country should have something written into there. into their laws or into their civil rights, that essentially that they have ownership and control over the government. It's that the government can't be this separate entity, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult topic when it comes to like, how do people get guns in this country? Well, it's because you're allowed guns in your country. Unfortunately, you have to make the decision: is this what we want? The only way America will get rid of its guns is the day the citizens decide to hang up their guns.
Which is a
Essentially.
totally possible option.
It's a totally possible option, but it's something that everyone has to.
You have to
come to an agreement
unanimously,
on.
yeah, you have to unanimously come to a decision where you want that to happen, because if
And
you have half of the
unfortunately,
population
the
that
more-
want them, half that
The
don't.
more government try to push and lobby and stuff like that, the more people resist, because it's the Barbra Streisand effect. Essentially,
The more
It's
you want
the
it to
same
go
eff-
away, the
it's-
more it'll
It's
stay
the
there.
same effect as the Barbra Streisand. Yeah, the more you push and the more you tell people what they should do and the more you tell people not to do this thing, the more they're going to do it. The more they're going to resist. It's unfortunately
Rebellion.
you obviously enact your stricter gun laws, but also it's hard. It's hard because we don't live in a country where we have to deal with it.
Thank
Thank fuck.
Thank fuck government. I'll
because-
take NHS over a shotgun any day.
Yeah, because the thing is, the only way you're going to get a lot of these people to eventually, maybe one day, give up their weapons is to leave them the fuck alone. But at the same time, you have these mass shootings.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, the country of America is
It's kind of
extremely diverse.
digging deeper as
Yeah.
well, because you'll have people who say, "Well, I will need a gun to defend myself against these other people who have guns," and it's like the Cold War, essentially, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
They've just had nukes, and the other person had nukes.
The people in that country need to understand that they are constantly at a place of mutually self-assured destruction. Everyone is aware that at any point the citizenship could rise up. I think that's not what I think. The point is, that's the point of the Constitution. Is that exact point? Is the fact that at any point all of the citizenry can get up and defend themselves against the government, and hopefully military, if a government has been taken over by a dictatorship or something.
Yeah,
That's the whole point. The whole point is that the government should live in fear that we've all got, that not we, but that they all have guns. That's the whole point of that part of the Constitution. It's not that's. Unfortunately, it wasn't written into the Constitution that citizens would also have to feel that fear constantly every day.
yeah,
It should be a stance against corruption, but unfortunately, people are people, and
Take it
every
too
country
far.
has the wrong kind of people in them.
yeah.
Every country has those kind of people. In this country, just luckily, a lot of them don't have access to guns.
You're always gonna have a few bad eggs.
Yeah,
Well, let's get back onto this bad egg. So this was the judge, the court judge speaking. He was wearing a bulletproof vest at midnight. His explanations, or at least his expressed bewilderment as to how, when, or why he had possession of the gun, the magazines, the silencer, and the bulletproof vest, are, in my mind, not satisfactory explanations at all. I nearly made it through that whole quote. Prior drug trafficking and fraud convictions between 2009 and 2012 didn't help his case either. But he hasn't done anything else since, like to give him a gold star
God.
for trying. like he hasn't done anything else. He also went on the state. Blah blah. He also went on to state that Curtis had no problems while on bail. He'd stopped drinking. He'd gotten himself a long-term relationship. He'd even set up a chili/pepper spice grow operation in Uganda. Just to add a little bit more spice to the story. He pleaded guilty to possessing a loaded, prohibited firearm, having a silencer, and having ammunition. So he went to jail. Along with this, he has a lifetime firearm ban. I don't know how long he went to jail. I couldn't find a number. It might be released because he's a relatively recent, I'd say. Air quotes. And last but not least, we'll move on to our wearable vests, like our wearable vest, our wearable gardens. All vests are wearable. All vests are wearable.
One would hope.
This one, but the one hopefully that you have isn't watered by urine. Oh God, I'm gonna get this name wrong again. I hate names. Arausiak Gabrielian. I want to say Arausiak Gabrielian. From the USC School of Architecture in LA.
Oh, God.
So she created a wearable garden.
Yeah.
The project was called Post-Human Habitats. It uses insects and possibly human waste to facilitate the garden. I don't think literally you like take it off, squat over it, and take a shit, and then you rub it in. I mean, like
I assume like
just
perspiration
the
and stuff like that.
urine and stuff like that.
Well, I assume it's just like the oils and stuff your body naturally gives off anyway. Maybe it absorbs that and uses that.
Maybe. I want to hope it's more gross. It's currently in Beijing as part of an exhibition called Post-Human in brackets limited. It weighs about 20 pounds, so about 9 kilos. If you want to imagine nine packets of sugar strapped to yourself at all times, you would be buff basically.
Actually, it's just weighted. Yeah,
exactly.
clothing.
So you'd be like Piccolo.
What are you trying to say?
Big green. You can grow cabbage, radish, sorrel, lettuce. So sorrel is like sort of a leaf. Don't know what you'd put it in, but so they've
Your vest.
That's where I always put mine.
Okay, Dad.
They've also. When I was your age, I used to have loads of sorrel. Kids these days with their wearable gardens and piss.
It's an absolute disgrace.
I want one.
Give me
yours. They've also experimented with strawberries and even peanuts and mushrooms.
peanuts.
Penis.
Peanuts.
You can grow some penis.
You can get it. It's funny because it's true.
I'm scared. So she says that you can grow up to 22 different crops on each vest.
Okay.
But how exactly does it work?
Magic.
I hear you ask. I hear you scream in anticipation.
Alex. But how does it work?
Well, let me put this into words for you.
Let me speak words.
I'm glad you asked. She used a soilless system of vertical gardens developed by Patrick Blanc. Patrick Blanc.
So it's essentially liquid rises from the bottom upwards, or does it go from the top down?
It goes in one direction. I'm
assuming if it uses urine,
I think it would probably go down.
Up, like
why
would urine come out your face?
I don't think. I know a few people.
I know a few too, but none of them urinate down their fucking neck.
Watch a line, Howard. So this Patrick Blanc has worked on projects all over the world, such as the Sky Team Lounge in Heathrow.
Nice.
The Sofitel Palm Jumeirah.
Don't know what that is.
In Dubai.
Okay.
The Shot Tower in Melbourne.
Nice.
The Costume National Ioma Complex Wall in Tokyo.
Yeah.
The Slope Facade in Santa Cruz de Tenerife. And the VAAP exhibition
The VAP
in the Cretaceous Spirals in Sao Paulo. And last but not least, the 53W53 Tower in New York. If you know anything about the vertical garden architectural world, that's one for you boys. Love you. The vest has a layer of moisture retaining fabric. So the way that I'll finish the sentence and I'll explain how I visualize this. That has a seed placed on and germinating through. I think so. I've put it in brackets.
I imagine it to look like a puffer jacket.
Imagine like a puffer jacket without arms. That's what visually that's what it's like. But the way that I kind of see it working is that they lay the fabric out flat. On sort of so that they have to grow the vest first before you can put it on. You can't get it same week. No. There's a process. No. I think it's a week. They said for stuff to start growing through, but essentially they seed a layer. They seed a layer of fabric. They water it and stuff like that, and then once it starts to germinate, they put another layer of fabric on top so that it can germinate through and hold. where it is, so that the seed can stay there, and then they water that for a little bit longer, wait for it to grow, and then sew it all together so it works as an actual vest. Is how visually I understand it.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong. Fuck knows. I'm not an architect at the University of Clothing. So it's fed by using the waste of small pollinators that would inhabit the vest. So sort of like little flies, hopefully not bees and wasps. I pray for you if that's the case. And
well, if you grow enough stuff eventually, then you're going to attract fucking nature.
Yeah, you're going to... what she said, she did mention having larger creatures on the vest as well, but I'm not sure what she alluded to on that. I'm squirrels and...
Dung beetles.
And people. You just get someone coming up to you and just biting a radish off. That'd be quite traumatizing, actually.
Get out of here. Get off
Stole
my
my radish.
Oh, my cabbages!
My cabbage! So the human waste isn't... So human waste isn't actually used. It's a bit of a clickbait title, I'm afraid. I don't think yet it's being used, but she did explain that a catheter could be used with the process of forward osmosis. So forward osmosis is an osmotic process that uses a semi-permeable membrane to affect separation of water from dissolved solids.
That's some fancy words.
That is some fancy words. But if you want to put it like lightly, imagine putting like water with rocks over a sieve.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like that. But imagine the rocks are piss and the water's water, and then you can drink that.
And you've got flowers in your jacket.
Yeah, and you've got dung beetles and shit all over you. So, like, have fun going into the office this weekend or Monday, Greg, with that fucking contraption.
Just covering everyone with soil.
And again, I hear you ask, what inspired her to do this?
What inspired her to do this?
Wow, let me get to it. She says, this happened at a particular moment in my doctoral work where I was immersed in literature around the post-human. This was also around about the same time that I had given birth to my daughter. Your body turns into a machine that starts to produce the exact nutrients that your child requires and the precise delivery system to get the food to the child. So I was amazed at my body for its ability to do this. So just sort of like put in human body production on like a corporate scale. Yeah. I thought to tap into the bodily system, such as the renal system and the digestive system, and to try to imagine, in a future state where our soils are depleted and there's not enough access to water and we all die. No, she didn't have that bit, but she
we can, to be fair,
both of those.
We can do quite a lot with hydroponics as well, though. Hydroponics.
What's that?
It's growing in like
without soil,
indoors essentially.
Oh, okay.
And without sunlight.
We're like greenhouse.
It's
not green. Is it greenhouses?
It's essentially how people grow weed. And have it not like outdoors.
Yeah,
because you can essentially grow anywhere with hydroponics because you use UV light and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, so it's through photosynthesis and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you basically create your own biome. Essentially, so you can grow anything with mostly anything with hydroponics.
Maybe this is what you'll have to do for this. You'll just have to carry a floodlight on your back.
Well, I assume the future of farming is in hydroponics. I assume
it would make sense, especially if everywhere's flooded.
We'd have to use a synthesized soil, essentially, something that we create that is
we could reproduce
organic, essentially. So we'd probably have to create it out of natural matter or something. But I think we could. I think we have got backup plans. Essentially,
I do remember reading.
Unfortunately,
an article.
I think the population will struggle with that. I think that's in the distant future. I hope it may be that. Unfortunately, famine might be one of the things that reduces our population. Unfortunately, but essentially, it would probably roll down to a point that can be sustained by the farming techniques of the future. Unfortunately, unfortunately, we do have backup plans, but it doesn't mean we'll all It doesn't mean they're the greatest ideas.
Well, I do know that there's a facility somewhere. It's in a snowy place because the outside is very snowy.
Yeah.
Where they have collected one seed from each plant from across the world. I think, as far as they can do it.
There's the seed in germination bank in. Is it in like?
It's in a snowy place. I know that.
I think it's in like Europe. I think
it's in Northern Europe.
Yeah.
I think it's in Northern Europe.
And it kind of looks like a big
It's a
long
big
pillar
glass.
like it's like a big rectangle thing, isn't it?
It's like
coming out of the
it's
side
like
of
a
a mountain.
Toblerone.
Looks like it's coming out the side of a mountain. as
Yeah,
well.
it is. Yeah, and it's got like a big glass front. It looks beautiful, actually. To be honest.
Yeah.
It looks like a very beautiful building, as we're talking about architecture. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no commercial release date, so you'll just have to keep your eye out for that one. And with that, we're moving on to our final section.
Ba-ba-ba-da.
Today I fucked up.
Today, I fucked up.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Today I Fucked Up after that lovely jingle created by our own
jingle.
Howard. I have 4 stories for you today across the one subreddit because I'm very lazy. Today I fucked up by having lunch with my roommate's family.
Nice. What did you do?
Oh, I have read this one. My roommate's family arrived at our apartment for an end-of-the-year lunch. I only found this out after opening the door and seeing my roommate's family standing in front of me for the very first time since I moved in.
Oh.
My roommate swore that he informed me about this family gathering, but I couldn't recall that conversation ever happening. Regardless of what actually happened, the presence of his family, the presence of his family was that
they existed.
The guy's just insane. He's bought some cardboard cutouts. This is my dad. It's just Danny DeVito. The presence of his family would not have been an issue, if not for the fact that I ingested magic mushrooms moments before the family's untimely arrival.
Why?
And a fast forward to lunchtime.
Why were they there? No.
I was sitting at the table with my roommate, his parents, younger brother, 2 older sisters, and a brother-in-law. So a lot of people. He's college.
And all of them had 5 heads and 3 eyes.
All of them had giant-sized hands on normal-sized bodies. It was like having lunch with a family of bobbleheads. At that point...
all of them the same.
At that point, there was no turning back. The shrooms had kicked in.
I had to kill them all.
Everything.
No one can know.
Everything around me was pulsating.
Oh, God.
I didn't know whether to be entertained or terrified. However, in spite of my reality steadily declining, I was able to stay relatively composed up until the moment that Dad unexpectedly turned to me while chewing a chicken wing. His massive head was suddenly right in my fucking face. I recoiled and yelled at him to back off. The dad stared at me in disbelief. Regrettably, my outburst didn't end there. I stood up and laughed hysterically before accusing my roommate of not telling me his bobblehead family was visiting because he knew I would freak out. At that moment, everyone at the table turned to my roommate, who simply struggled and said with a mouthful of food, "Sure, why not?" I spent the rest of the afternoon locked in my room, hoping there was nothing in the food that would somehow supersize my head or some shit. By the time the shrooms wore off, my roommate's family had gone home.
By the time the room stopped breathing.
I would have just stuck Dragon Ball Z on and had a trip. According to my roommate, they're planning to visit more often in the new year just to make sure he's still alive from me. So he thinks the family think he's absolutely and utterly a batshit.
Well, of course they do. He wasn't on the same plane of reality when they first met him.
I mean, they all had huge heads. I can't blame them for not trusting a bigot.
I was struggling with just perceiving reality around me. Never mind the fact that you had to invade that space that... Ugh.
With your big ass fucking head.
People disgust me.
Big heads disgust me.
Would you stop breathing at the same pace as that wall?
Oh, sorry, man.
It's distracting. Right.
Where did that fox come from? Oh, it's your hair.
Right. Today, I'm reading this one. Today, I fucked up by trying to answer the phone.
As we all have. Many a time. By actually answering the phone. Who answers the phone nowadays? Don't call me, text me.
Great. Now I know whatever it is you wanted to tell me, and I hate it.
And I hate you. I'm hanging up now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You can't get that satisfying slam anymore.
No.
With touch screens. Like you
have just kind of punch your phone before you hang up. Just
yeah, you have to headbutt it so that they feel it as well, because then all they hear down the other end is. But back in the you could slam down a good phone or flip a phone. I miss the sassiness.
I miss the sass. A while back, the company I was working for was tearing out and removing an old waste treatment system that was shut down in the 70s. This was basically a massive underground pit where the waste solids, also known as shit, would
more commonly referred to
as turdy pants.
I like that one.
Turdy turds would settle on the bottom of the chamber, and the liquids would be pumped out. So it's
a treatment plant.
Yeah, they're removing all the liquid from the solid and just been left over with essentially would be fertilizer.
They're doing osmosis.
Yum, yum, yum.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, when they shut it down, it was left full of shit and is by far one of the nastiest jobs I've ever done.
I mean, it's kind of the point.
We opened the pit up by tearing the top off with equipment, and we're bringing in trucks to pump out the waste.
How fucking hard is this shit?
Well, they've removed all the liquid, so it's probably just like all solidified into a concrete turd.
Oh.
The pit was about 16 feet deep and filled to the top with solids. And when I'm talking solids, I'm talking shit tons of shit.
Bodies.
No, shit tons of shit and condoms for some reason. Pumpkin seeds, which I still don't understand to this day.
Oh, yeah.
I assume the human body doesn't digest pumpkin seeds.
Let nothing go to waste, I say.
One weekend, we got a bunch of rain. When it rained, we would pump the water out into the new sewer so we could remove the solids.
Oh.
Since it was the weekend and we had so much rain, my boss asked me to swing by and turn the pumps on. So the water didn't get out of hand.
You don't want that. Well, we've already learned recently hot water kills people. 100 a year. Don't be a statistic, kids.
Keep that hot water and turd in your hand. So I went to the job site alone to turn on the pumps and suck the water out.
Manually. Like, how you siphon gas out of a car.
When I got to the job site, I turned the pumps on, but they were clogged up.
Fuck.
I can only assume, shit.
Pumpkin seeds. Pure pumpkin seeds. That's all they have in this town is just pumpkin seeds.
I siphoned out the pumpkin seeds, and I've made it worse.
And I collected them all.
I decided to walk into the structure alone and clear the pumps. And that's the start of my fuck-up.
You know what I'm imagining? I'm imagining this is just Star Wars. And he's in, the Death Star's pump room. And I'm imagining it's just epic.
Cut all the turds off with lightsabers.
Oh, the dream job.
It's awful.
I did have this. Sorry, this is a bit of a tangent, but I did have a fact for the real and fake. That was the fact that Scottish parliaments were using lightsabers for getting rid of pigeons on the parliamentary building.
Do they mean sticks that have light?
Well, it's sort of like laser pointers. They had two methods
so not
of
lightsabers.
No, it was really clickbait, but I wanted that title, just the title. Like Scotland is fighting pigeons with lightsabers. What? That's so awesome. But it was laser pointers, and they use falcons or not falcons. They use hawks and stuff like that as well. Just to get rid of these fucking pigeons, because the Scottish Parliament building, if you haven't seen it, it's actually really, I'm not a building nerd by any means, but this building's a nice building. No, this building's a nice building. It's sort of like if you imagine sort of an arts university. Imagine an arts university building. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that. It kind of looks like apartment buildings as well. Like it's ridiculous. Like when you look at ours, there is an old fucking building that could fall apart any time and looks like it probably was a church.
It looks far too grand.
It does. It looks amazingly grand. Whereas this kind of just looks like you'd walk past it on a council estate. In a nice council estate, should I say? Because it's a massive fuck off building. Anyway, sorry, that's my tangent over. But
Tangent over.
I did want to put that in, but
the takeaway from that is that Scotland is home to some Jedis.
and big ass pigeons. Big ass groups of pigeons, should I say? But that was one of the stories that I did want to put in. But when I got into it, I was like, it's kind of boring. So I swapped it with the man gobbling up a cologne bottle up his arsehole. So yeah, sorry, carry on.
So thanks for that.
I've scarred you for life.
I don't think I mentioned he said I decided to walk into the structure alone, which is to start my fuck up, and that almost cost me my life.
His life.
Life.
It was an utterly shit day.
What a shitty shit situation. Since I took my personal vehicle, why? I didn't have any
Into
of
the
my
chamber?
Yeah, I didn't have any of my equipment. Oh no, just I assumed to the site. So instead of using a
Oh well,
harness,
I didn't expect him to ram into the pipes of shit. I'll show you.
So instead of using my harness, I went in without one,
Oh, first mistake.
which is the first fuck up. This structure was underground, and the pit had large chambers that were broken into basically large upside down V's.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's like a little funnel.
Yeah, that you could walk on the point which which was a foot wide, a foot or two wide. So like the
Oh, so there was actually a little bit of room to walk around the tip
Yeah.
of these things, and then you just parasail in.
essentially, yeah. So when I got down to the pumps and was crouching down to clean them, my phone rang, and I went to answer it. That was my second fuck up.
So rule number 1: always take a harness with you when you're about to dive into a boatload of shit.
Rule number 2: I'll bring a harness for your phone as well.
Rule number 2: don't have friends who will call you in any
Don't
situation.
have any friends. Just stop.
Yeah,
How dare you? You shit worker.
get down that shithole.
Ooh. Being crouched, I had to turn my leg and try to get my phone out of my pocket, and my foot slipped on some gravel, and I slipped off the edge
Gravel? Where's this gravel coming from?
and fell in. I think what he meant was small particulates of shit.
That's what I'd be more likely.
Yeah, at this point, hang on.
At this point, I shit a brick.
At this point, I wasn't worried.
I wasn't worried.
That's exactly.
It makes sense for somebody in that situation. I don't think I'd be
I
able
think
to speak
he meant
either.
I wasn't really worried.
I wasn't really worried.
I wasn't really worried about anything besides the fact I just landed in straight 40-year-old shit up to my knees.
Yeah, in all honesty, if I'm recounting this event and I'm trying to speak clear English, I'm going to fail as well because I'm just going to be thinking about when I fell in a big vat of shit.
It was gravel, I swear. That's
I
what
was there, was scared.
That's what I told myself.
And my doctor.
However, when I tried to move to get to the ledge to get out, I started to sink.
Oh my god, it's like quick shit.
Like I said, this pit was 16 foot deep and was like being in quicksand.
Oh no.
I tried to reach for the edge, but it was just out of reach. When I tried to move again, I was now a little over my waist deep. At this point, I was still fine, but I was covered in shit.
So, I was all good, except I was covered in everyone else in the city's waste.
I was covered in shit, but normally the city work guy comes around once or twice a day to check the site. So just chill there, waiting for him to come, and he'll get me out.
Oh, what an agonizingly slow death.
Sure, I'm going to be embarrassed more than and likely to get in trouble, but I'd be fine.
I'd be alive.
And out of the poop. And out of the fire.
After the poop for now until your fucking manager comes up and says, why are you not doing whatever I told you to do with this shit, not playing around
Get
in it?
back in the shithole.
Just pushes him in like Sparta style.
This is Sparta!
This is shithole! And then
Get in, you shite!
The thing is, while I stood there, covered in shit, I noticed that I was still sinking.
That I was still in shit. I'd forgotten.
And that's when the panic set in. I couldn't wait. I had to get out, or I was going to die.
I thought he was going to say, I can't wait to dive right in.
I can't wait, so I pooed and added to the danger.
I added fire to the flame.
I was going to drown in 40-year-old human shit. My whole life had led to me drowning in shit.
Don't be a statistics, kids. Don't be a statistic.
Don't be a statistic. Don't do it.
Don't be a shit statistic.
So I instantly tried to get out. I tried to kick my way out. I tried to pull myself out. I tried to swim on top of it while sinking deeper and deeper.
Synchronized swimming on top of it.
Just all the while.
That's just him eating it.
Oh, no.
Well, if it's all in me, I can't drown in it.
At this
Pumpkin
point,
seed.
I had sunk to my chest.
Oh.
Sorry, I missed a little bit out there. I tried to swim on top of it while sinking deeper and deeper, and nothing but the thought of the absolute crazy way I was going to die. At this point, I'd sunk to my chest, and I had pretty much lost all hope, and had started to accept my fate, and broke into a combination of historical laughter. Historical?
Historical laughter.
He's written historical. I think he means hysterical.
I mean, it would have been
It
historical
was
laughter if he
hysterical.
died.
I mean, it was a historical moment, so I'll give him that.
Yep.
Of historical laughter and cursing myself for the stupidity of going down there with without a harness.
What I imagine is historical laughter would be sort of you put a grandiose voice on, sort of like Henry VIII or something. You just ha ha ha.
Oh,
Shit.
I do love a good shit. I finally calmed down while I'm reading the wrapper for a condom.
Oh.
It's a good way. It's just if you can distract yourself
He
from the
has some
situation.
reading material.
He had something to distract him from the situation for a moment to calm down. So it was a condom wrapper from the 60s.
Oh.
And I noticed it had a piece of rebar sticking out of one of the walls
And casual racism on the
that we started to tear down.
condom.
I reached out and stretched myself more than I had ever done in my life.
I was Mr. Fantastic.
For one moment, I was fantastic and covered in shit.
So fantastic.
Amazing.
He's just into scat or whatever.
I reached out and stretched myself more than I had ever done in my life, and was able to grab it. With every ounce of strength, I managed to pull myself free, and then pull myself to the edge and get out.
Hell yeah. Indiana Jones style, my man. How did you not notice his rebar like ages ago?
He was panicking because he was going to drown in shit.
But once he'd made
Once he
peace with
calmed-
the
yeah,
whole
he calmed
situation.
down. Yeah, he was like, that's an interesting.
Oh, that rebar that's been there for half an hour that I've been staring at for 3 hours. Oh,
Well, cover me in shit and call me an idiot. Wait. I got terrible. I got out of the pit and fell to the ground, and then looked up to the sky. I laid there covered in shit and smelling worse than I had ever done in my life, and laughed. I was alive, and my story had not ended by drowning in shit.
yeah. Good job, man. Good fucking job.
I got up, found the water hose, and washed myself off. I threw my clothes away and drove home naked, and took what was the best and longest shower of my life, and never told a soul of how close I came to drowning 40-year-old shit. And until now.
And now you have. Congratulations on getting that one off your chest and all that shit off your chest.
Congratulations. And
hope-
here's the iPad.
Thank you. I hope that he kept that. I really do hope that he kept that condom for memories.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to move on to the longest of our sections. The longest one of our stories. This is Today I Fucked Up by Falling Asleep. A little bit of a vague title for you there. You can sort of make up your own mind about what this will be, or you could listen to me and find the truth. Find the truth. So a little backstory. I have mild insomnia. Falling asleep isn't hard. It's staying asleep that escapes me. So in a flash of brilliance on my part, I decided to drink some ZZZ Quill.
I'm the opposite. It's like getting to sleep is impossible for me. But once I'm asleep, Good luck getting me the fuck up.
So technically all that needs to happen now is for you two to get together and have a child, and then they will be able to just like that and stay asleep.
They will exist in a constant state of bliss.
Coma. So yeah, because it was 3 a.m. and I might have had a solid 30 minutes of sleep. Oh goodness.
That sounds awful.
That does sound awful. I do remember one of the Funhouse crew, Elise. I think she was saying that she struggles to get to sleep.
Yeah.
And stay asleep. Whereas Alana, the other co-host, was saying that
There's two kinds of people in this world.
Well, she's saying that. I think she said she had fatigue.
She actually suffers from chronic fatigue.
Chronic fatigue, that's it. Yeah, she gets chronic fatigue, and so she's just out most of the time.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, she just being in a room full of people can knacker her out because she's got to talk to them and be engaged, and like it just wears her body out. Like,
let me just tell you, staying engaged is exhausting, to be honest. How long have we been sat here?
What did you say?
Howard? What? I've kind of lost the track.
Get out of my flat.
I have work in a few hours. Yay! In a second stroke of genius, I was going to be productive while it kicks in.
I know that struggle from the other end where it's like, I haven't been able to sleep. I haven't got to sleep. I've maybe gotten like a good 2 hours in at some point, but something woke me up and I haven't been able to get back to sleep. And then it's like, I've got work in a few hours and I just have to give up and be like, I'll just go to work and deal with it.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'm going to get back to sleep.
You get a long morning just to get ready and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think I tend to have I never go below 4 hours, but most of the time rarely go above 6 hours.
Oh yeah, it's worst case
asleep.
scenario. It's rare that happens where it's like I just could not sleep at all, and maybe I got a few hours in, but otherwise nothing.
I think that's until I stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I get very little sleep. Most of the time, I'm usually rushing around getting ready for work at half an hour before work is due. Yeah. But yeah, so this guy says he has another stroke of genius. I was going to be productive while it kicks in, and I went out to the store to grab some groceries I needed. And I even picked up a water vaporizer, as I heard it might help me sleep a little more comfortably. With a new water vaporizer cranked up, a full belly thanks to the garbage food I found at the checkout line, and being dosed by myself earlier, I promptly conked out until my shift starts. Also, backstory.
Yes.
I have the luxury of working at home around the holidays as long as I plan to have something I can actually do while out of the office. So, that's pretty cool. That's really cool, actually. Well, things have been terribly slow due to the holidays and year-end stuff. So rather than work from the office and do nothing, I opted to work from home and do nothing. So that was the backstory. So he's going to be conked out and he works from home. So this is where the fuck up comes. Well, the story begins by me getting up, log on, yada yada, work starts. Thing is, so clever and using a macro to keep my screen from going to sleep, so I have the appearance of being online and available for all your customer service needs. This also allows me to hear the ding of any incoming emails.
And he's easily woken, isn't he?
Cool idea, or what? That leaves me free to do anything I wish as long as I keep an ear out for the emails. No problem, boss. So after 30 minutes of browsing Reddit and picking my nose a bit, I decided that I was going to lay on my bed and rest my eyes. As always, I had no new emails, no web training, nothing. Bored. Oh yeah. I'm also still a bit groggy from the ZZZ quill. Is that actually what it's called? Triple Z quill, or
it's probably a brand of
I know
NyQuil.
I know NyQuil.
I think NyQuil's a brand of it essentially.
Okay, and having had a nice snack a few hours before. Anyways, I keep my door closed so my family, mainly the kid and cats, cannot interrupt my very important work. As I was laying there, I was aware someone opened the door to let my kitty out for breakfast. No biggie. Anyone is welcome to come and go if they can be quiet when I am on the phone. That is the last thing I remember before completely conking out. I woke up about 2 hours later, surprising myself. I had hardly ever slept that long in a shot at night.
It was bliss.
That's pretty sad. That you 2 hours and you've never. I'm sorry, dude.
If you've never experienced a full, somehow it happens,
like
but
10 hours sleep.
10, 12 hours sleep. Oh my God.
It is bliss.
You might wake up a little bit achy, but good God, it's nice.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Or like just you know, sort of those naps where it's completely bright outside. It's nice. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You wake up at 6 from like a long ass nap. The movie that you've been watching is just paused at the end.
Gone.
Well, it's paused at the end, and you're like, oh, where was I? I've still got loads of the day left because it's only 6.
Yeah.
Where was I in that movie? Go back. The lights are still out of the way. I might do that when I get back. So I get up. Sorry, I was there. So he said, I hardly ever had that long in a shot at night, let alone after catching a few Z's. What? I hardly ever slept that long in a shot. I mean, I think he means in a shift.
In a shift or in a go.
In a shift
in
at
one
night,
go,
let alone after catching a few Z's thanks to ZZZ Quill. No, I am not sponsored by them, but if anyone can make that happen, slide into my DMs. I get up and sure enough, no emails. Still nothing.
Thank God.
I get up and I call out for my daughter to make sure she's up and fed. No response. I then check her room, the couch, the kitchen, then her room. What? So you didn't... What? Then her room, my room, bathroom, her room, the couch, the kitchen, the attic, the basement. I kept calling out her name, quickly becoming distraught. This is a very bad joke, I'm telling her, and she needs to come out now. Oh, so he's basically calling her.
Has he woken up in the middle of the day and not realised he slept for like 12 hours?
So he's screaming for her, essentially, saying, this is not a fun joke. Please come out now. But no response. That's when I lose my absolute shit. I am in pajamas running outside around the house to make sure she didn't leave and get locked out in the cold. I woke my brother up. He works nights. He starts looking. We comb the place one story at a time. Attic to basement. Not there. In order to make this a bit more readable, I will do what happens next in a list form. Also, sorry, I suck at writing. Still in my PJs, out of the freezing cold of the winter morning, frost still on the grass and cars, I run to the neighbours, bang on the doors, check her friend's house, nobody answering me, and dread is rising. Call 911, the whole deal, car sent out, rolls up on me banging on doors and follows me to the house to help look again. Checking in cabinets under the beds, in dark corners of the basement, shed, neighbour's shed, anywhere we can think of. Call her mother to make sure she didn't pick her up for some reason, or if she went somewhere with her older sister. No, Neelix, no, she's not there. Mom calls back after checking with older sister. No answer from her since she is at school. Does daughter have school? Daughter can't be at school. Because what? She only goes back to school on Thursday. The cop and my brother stare at me as things start to sink into place. I forgot what day it was. The cop rides down to verify, and I am on the phone getting upset over the stupid slow auto answers prompts. And sure enough, I am able to verify she was at school. Cop calls a few minutes later and told me she came to tell me, but thought I was sleeping, so she just left. So that's who opened the door to let the cat out. I am such a moron.
I knew it straight away. I knew exactly what he had done. I've done that, woken up completely disorientated. I don't know where I am, when I am, who I am.
It's kind of beautiful when you go to sleep 12 o'clock Sunday, it's 12 o'clock Saturday, expecting to wake up still
Sometimes
Saturday.
waking up from a dream where like you've been so far away doing something so obscure and you wake up and you don't even know who you are sometimes. It's like, who? What? No,
Or
I
you've been
was
living
just
a very vivid dream.
I was just mining something on an asteroid, and I was this guy, I was this other person, and I've just woken up. And I'm like this. This is just yep.
This isn't an asteroid.
This is back to real life.
Fuck. So the cop offered to send an ambulance to assure my impending heart attack didn't kill me. So this guy just overslept. Simply overslept. What a poor guy. Just trying to catch a few Z's.
bastard. What a guy.
My daughter's been kidnapped.
By my
school!
by my overcreative mind.
AKA this pistol.
Today I fucked up by ordering groceries. No, sorry, but today, by ordering groceries, but by having groceries delivered.
So buying and having them delivered. Unless you don't pay, unless you've got a lifetime black card for Asda.
Unless you're a genius.
I will take sponsorships Asda if you will give me free groceries. Thank you.
You wish. I ordered a food delivery from the local supermarket.
Any brand is fine.
Pick your brand. To be delivered this morning. I work from home, so it's super convenient.
A lot of people working from home.
Yeah.
The dream.
I had a super shitty day yesterday, so I was having a slow morning. It got to about 10 a.m. and I was still in my dressing gown, with no belt and nothing underneath. Hair unwashed and awful. I had mascara down my face.
Looking lovely. What a meal.
You do you. I get a knock on the door and think it's the postman, only to see that it's my food delivery. I'm annoyed at myself as I completely forgot. Usually, I'd be ready and dressed and have shut the cats in the other room. They're currently indoors, but they tried to escape.
But they're running rampant.
As anyone with cats know. I've got to go and do something extremely important. This is the perfect time for me to leave. But you've got no way of letting me back in, so now I've got to spend all day outside, and I'll be pissed off when you get home.
Seems like a win-win situation to me, bro.
Yeah. This is where the first thing goes wrong. I go to take the first tray from the driver. We get the food delivered in big basket trays.
And we touch hands sensually and kiss.
You take them into the house and unload them, and then give the trays back. As I take it, my dressing gown swings open, and I'm fully naked underneath.
He got a bit of a show.
I panic and turn around quickly, apologising. But from the red glow emanating from his face, he clearly saw everything.
You can cook a slice of bacon on that face, dude.
I run to the kitchen and dump out the shopping, grab a scarf from my coat rack and tie it around my waist.
Not going to cover anything.
Making me look ridiculous.
So she's taken the dressing gown off and just tied a scarf around her waist.
Plus the dressing gown. But at least I'm covered.
Okay.
But at least I'm covered. He's now bringing the other two trays to the door. I pick up the second as I'm walking to the kitchen. One of the cats makes a run for the open front door.
Oh, fuck. Just when I thought it was over.
She's recently rescued and not allowed out yet.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I know. They always do it, though. It's like you've got to keep the cats in for a little while.
They've got to get used to the area.
But they immediately just fucking run outside the bastards. And you have to go and fucking find them and bring them back.
Especially if you've moved and not too far away. They tend to go back to the old house.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I panic and block her way with my foot. At this point, my lower back completely gives way, and I collapse on the floor in pain.
God.
Covering myself, my cat, and everything in groceries, including a jar of croutons. No. I don't know what that is. It must be something American. Cornicons?
Let's have a look.
Cornicons and smashes.
Where is that? Sorry.
In brackets.
I
think that might be a product.
Cornichons. Cornichons. Yeah, whoa.
I have no idea.
I have no idea what that is. Write in if you know what cornichons is.
Cornicons and smashes. That's smashes. Sorry. A jar of cornicons.
Cornichons.
I'm now on the floor and I can't move. Covered in pickle juice. Oh, it's some kind of pickle.
Oh.
Already looking a state, and I have a very angry cat next to me. I'm so stuck. I have to call to the delivery guy, who has come into my house to help me up.
Oh God.
At which point, I'm almost in tears from the pain.
Oh my God! Just from stuff. Oh God.
My other cat has now appeared and is trying to lick up the pickle juice.
Making the most of the situation. I like this cat.
You can eat that.
That good old pickle juice on the floor looks mighty fine to me.
That's a mighty good pickle.
Don't mind if I do.
So he's also trying to move her away at the same time. He helps me into the living room and brings the next tray of food in for me and starts to empty it out onto the sofa.
Oh my goodness, bless this guy. Bless this delivery driver.
He's a good man.
Saint Tesco.
As I'm half laying, half sitting on the floor next to it, I then realise how awful my living room looks. As I said, I've had an awful day, and the night before, and had consoled myself badly by finishing a bottle of wine and then moving on to some gin.
Don't tell him your backstory.
Both of which bottles are still on the living room table with the lid off,
Would you like
as
some?
I haven't cleaned up. Welcome to my abode.
This is my friend Jenny. It's just like a bottle with some hair sticking out. Would you like a drink?
Would you like some groceries, Jerry?
Something bad has just bored them.
You'd think that would be it. And I've already disgraced myself enough looking like an unemployed alcoholic with no personal hygiene and half in tears.
What the fuck happens now? Does a plane hit the roof?
But no! My newer
Don't be
cat,
stupid.
my newer cat decides it's time to come hurtling back down the stairs and straight out the front door, which the delivery driver let swing open again when he rushed in to pick me up.
Oh my gosh, this cat's invested.
Cats do not give a shit about what is going on with you right now. They just don't.
Oh, you broke your back. This is my chance.
Time to get away from the human. So now I'm unable to move and now actively sobbing as I'm in a lot of pain and I'm panicking. She'll run off. Between sobs, I asked if he could possibly try and catch her as I can't move and she's old and scared. Luckily, he's
What, the woman or the cat?
the cat.
Oh, I thought she was saying, I'm old and scared.
I'm old and scared. Find my cat. This is Skyrim. Luckily, he's a hero and manages to wrestle her back in.
Oh my god, what an amazing delivery driver.
Which is no easy feat as she's over a stone and very bitey and hissy.
Oh.
He practically yeets her inside
Killing her instantly on impact.
and runs back to the safety of his little van without a look back.
Oh my god, so he rugby passed that cat back into the house.
Bolted.
I went, fuck this.
I'm out.
Maybe he's not the saint that I thought he was. I thought he'd go back and say, are you alright?
No, fuck this.
The cat! Through the window.
It took me 20 minutes to get up and hobble upstairs to get in the bath, and then another 20 minutes to lower myself in.
Oh my god.
And to cap it off, I'm now in the bath, and I've realised I haven't put any of the shopping away, including the ice cream.
And now the cats are getting into everything.
The end.
Oh my goodness, that one was a bit more. I think that one was a bit more of a roller coaster than the other guy, who missed his daughter and everything. Oh my goodness. Well, that shall do us for another episode of the Clueless Internet podcast. You can check all the links for these stories at cluelessinter.net. They are in the description for like Google Podcasts and iTunes and Spotify and stuff like that. But your best bet for getting an easy to read version is probably through the website. You can follow us at CluelessNet. You can also email us anything. Email us stories.
Please email us.
If you jump over children. And cause injury. If you get in the injury book, let us know. Podcast at cluelessinter.net. We'll be back in 2 weeks. And thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you very much for coming to Get Out.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Ranger.
Oh, Ranger.
Ranger.
Oh.
I'll see you again, Ranger.
Oh, rest in pepperoni. Bye.
Bye. What are these words you're speaking? I need oxygen. Oxen what?
Well, I bought some oxo cubes.
What are germs and how do I buy them?
Can I have one for a pet?
So what you're telling me is he stays with me all the time and is clinging to my body.
But I can't see it.
Sounds like witchcraft to me.
I know it.
Where is my fire? Thank you, buddy.